Straight from the back. Good, how are you? Champs in the house. Let's go, baby. What?
30 seconds. What a beautiful left hook. I like the way you prepared before. Just like that, Mike. Just one. Exactly. How can I touch you? Explode body shots. Beautiful. He can find you. He cannot find you.
There he is.
Just like that.
Beautiful. Eyes on him. You hunt him.
Beautiful cross. 15 seconds. Good. Oh, yeah. Beautiful combination, Mike.
Your head after your last one.
Tyson's recent training footage doesn't feel like simple nostalgia. It looks more like a heavyweight storm being rebuilt piece by piece.
I want to chill. Got a box. I need boxes. That's my thing. You know, so yeah. Let's go for your head. I need the boxes. That's what I got to do. I got a box. Warm them up.
Stay hydrated. You gotta stay hydrated. You gotta stay hydrated.
I want to box more around. You got to box around.
You're done Friday. Stay easy for Friday, man.
Huh?
You know you can do 10 girls like that. So what's about that? You know you can. You know you can.
Best guy in the world you want to be on Friday.
The size, the bursts of explosiveness, and the crisp snap of his combinations under the guidance of Rafael Cordeiro bring back that old seek and destroy energy that once made opponents uneasy when the bell rang.
Today was the day he's supposed to rest, and then he called all of us to come here because he decided to train. My opinion was the best decision. This is the way Mike, handled the things.
So what, like, you wanna move?
Fight! Mike! By yourself, Jan.
Mike, this is amazing, Mike.
Roll three!
Puta que pariu! Excelente, Mike. Excelente. We're good, Mike. Excelente pra distância.
Smoke that joint to go to gym.
Here we are.
Yeah, you know?
Here we are.
He's devastating, man.
5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
The level of the game invents itself. People that participated add to it.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. may have the flawless record and the reputation of a defensive mastermind, but Mike Tyson, carrying the history of 44 knockouts, remains a psychological factor that can't be ignored. Power at that level isn't only physical, it creates intimidation long before the first punch is thrown.
Hey, bro! Nice one, Mike. Nice one, Mike. Bro! Nice one, Mike. 5, 6, 4, Mike. One shot. Good. To the side.
You're up in the air.
Check across the sleeve, my shot. Bro! Nice one, Mike. Nice one, Mike. Bro. What's the best one? What's the best one, coach? What's the best one, coach? Bro, one shot. Isso, that's it. Bro. One shot.
The contrast feels almost cinematic. Floyd as the master of movement and ring control, thriving on precision and angles, while Tyson represents relentless pressure, closing distance and unleashing short, brutal shots. What makes it even more interesting is that Cordeiro's presence appears less about showmanship and more about discipline.
Mike's just different. I've worked with some very exceptional athletes throughout my life, and they're all remarkable in their own way, but Mike's just a whole different animal.
What we doing?
We'll do one more set. Let's get 12 reps. It's the heaviest we've gone on this. So just focus on perfect form for 12 reps.
233 today, contact for 230.
12 is all we need.
I'm over the 225, 228.
Lean mean.
Big
Lean
chest.
mean.
1, there we go. 2, 3, 4, good work. 8, 4 more. 9, 10, 2 more, Mike. 11, and 12.
Easy
work,
baby.
Love it.
Easy,
First time
easy.
we've done that.
That was easy.
Yeah, it was.
Critics may call it a money grab, but training camps rarely move with this level of seriousness for something meant to feel like a casual exhibition. When legends prepare with this kind of focus, pride quietly begins to replace promotion. Suddenly, the conversation shifts away from paydays toward identity and legacy, and the dangerous possibility that one perfectly timed right hand for a determined Tyson could still
3,
change
slow
the
on the way
entire
down.
narrative
There we go.
in seconds.
9, 1 more.
And slow.
10, no problem. Great set. Best set yet. Final round. Last one, Mike. Nice and strong. 30 times. Let you go. 1, 2. Here we go. 3, 4. Nice. 5. Yes, sir. 6, 7.
Strong.
8. Strong. 9. Got this.
Let's go.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's go. 8, 9. One more. And up. Nice work.
The intimidating training aura surrounding Mike Tyson suddenly meets the calm and measured reaction of Evander Holyfield. And that contrast is compelling, because Holyfield isn't loudly claiming dominance, he's simply acknowledging the obvious factor: size. When Holyfield casually remarks that it's kind of different size-wise, it feels like the most diplomatic way to summarize a matchup between a heavyweight puncher and a defensive welterweight master. He avoids exaggeration and simply anchors the discussion in reality. Tyson is naturally the bigger fighter, and in boxing terms, size combined with power always creates danger, regardless of the era.
Mike Tyson announced he's fighting Floyd Mayweather in 2026. What do you think of that fight overall?
Well, kind of different, the size-wise. Tyson heavyweight, and I think he went weatherweight.
Right.
So it's.
Is it a real fight? Do you think? You think fans should take it serious? Is it a real fight, Mayweather Tyson?
I couldn't think it was real. Because the fact of the matter, he's a lot bigger than guy. So it's the weight makes a difference.
What stands out even more is when he wonders whether it truly feels like a real fight, because that statement quietly shifts the conversation from spectacle and hype toward competitive legitimacy. In that moment, Holyfield sounds less like a spectator of the headlines and more like a seasoned fighter analyzing the matchup. At the same time, his tone doesn't dismiss the intrigue. Instead, it recognizes the mismatch dynamic while still respecting the legendary names connected to the discussion. That's where the situation becomes more layered and interesting. On one side, there is Tyson's relentless pressure style. On the other, Floyd Mayweather Jr. and his mastery of defensive survival, while Holyfield frames the debate using simple size logic rather than emotion. There are no theatrics in his words, just the calm authority of experience speaking.
Tyson?
I got Tyson.
You got Tyson over Mayweather? That's huge. Well, I just got Floyd because he's younger, 10 years younger, fast, elusive.
Yeah, but I hear bigger punching, man. You don't get tore up.
Really?
Well, of course.
So if Tyson lands on Floyd, Floyd's going down?
Yeah.
But so when he fought Jake Paul, some fans, they weren't too impressed with Tyson's performance versus Jake Paul. Do you think you'll have a better one versus Floyd?
I just think if they compete, you're gonna get.
I like that.
The calm, size-based reasoning from Evander Holyfield about heavyweight reality versus smaller technical brilliance suddenly gets turned on its head when Ariel Helwani begins sounding genuinely uncertain that the fight even exists. And that shift is striking, because the conversation moves from debating styles to questioning whether the matchup is real at all. When Helwani admits that his first reaction to the announcement was thinking, "I didn't think it was real," it immediately introduces skepticism into a narrative that had been moving forward purely on spectacle and excitement. That reaction reflects a journalist's instinct rather than a fan's enthusiasm. He then highlights the confusion surrounding promoters and the lack of concrete details. No confirmed date, venue, or structure, which makes the supposed mega event feel less like a finalized clash and more like a public test of interest.
You don't think it happens?
I do not think it happens. I just don't think there will be enough interest. I know they have huge name value. There's zero, after the last performance by Mike Tyson against Jake Paul, I don't think there's going to be interest in seeing Mike Tyson do that again. I think if this match was made on the heels of Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr., I think this would be blockbuster. I think people would be falling over themselves to consume this. After the Jake Paul version of Mike Tyson, I don't think anybody's going to be interested.
Tyson will be close to 60 by the time this happens.
And Mayweather has been out of the spotlight for a lot longer now.
Yeah.
What stands out even more is Helwani pointing directly to Mike Tyson's most recent performance and questioning whether the public appetite for another event truly exists. That observation quietly echoes concerns about timing and spectacle fatigue expressed by other analysts. It forces an uncomfortable comparison. Nostalgia-driven events involving Roy Jones Jr. gained attention, and curiosity around Jake Paul created its own momentum. But a matchup between Floyd Mayweather Jr. and a nearly 60-year-old Tyson presents a very different emotional equation. At the same time, Helwani mentioning he would rather watch Mayweather face Manny Pacquiao again introduces another layer of commercial logic that clashes with the legacy-driven intrigue of the proposed fight.
Also, even if it does happen, it's just like, who really cares?
Yeah.
Like, it's not them at their highest level. It's an exhibition. Everybody will clown on it when it eventually does happen.
There is a way that exhibitions can be fun. Tyson versus Roy Jones was actually like the best version of that, right? An exhibition that like I thought was exciting, delivered for the fans, but also that was so long ago for Mike Tyson. The version that we saw
like
against
early
Jake Paul,
50s.
Yeah, the version that we saw against Jake Paul just can't do
Against
it
the
anymore.
guy around his size too. Floyd Mayweather is not that.
Roy's pretty small, but
So
no, not as small as Floyd though.
Yeah, Roy fought at heavyweight at
Yeah,
one time.
Yeah.
The skepticism raised by Ariel Helwani about whether this fight is even real suddenly collides with Frank Smith casually predicting Tyson by controversial first-round knockout, delivered with such calmness that it feels almost routine. Pure promoter confidence blended with spectacle-driven instinct in a single remark. One moment, he is discussing young prospects, future stars, and the patient development of 18 and 19-year-old fighters. And the next, he abruptly shifts to predicting a heavyweight legend, overwhelming an undefeated defensive master in the opening round. The sudden shift in tone is both amusing and intriguing. When Smith speaks about investing in the sport's future, prospects, experience, discipline, and careful progression, it reflects the structured vision boxing often promotes. Yet moments later,
he's a brilliant fighter, but he obviously needs to apply himself in the sport to get the best out of it. And you know, it wasn't professional coming in overweight, and I think he's got to look at how he approaches his return to the ring. You know, because boxing isn't a sport where you can cut corners. And I'm not saying he did, but you know, the weight it doesn't help him in these kind of nights. But a great fight, and respect to both of them for that.
this feels less like a simple prediction and more like an anticipation of the storyline that might surround the event. He also casually notes that heavyweight contests are always risky, a statement that indirectly reinforces the Tyson narrative, because when the naturally bigger puncher is present, the entire risk equation changes. At the same time, two perspectives emerge. Analytically, Floyd Mayweather Jr. possesses legendary defensive intelligence. Yet theatrically, the image of Tyson landing early is exactly the type of scenario promoters know fans imagine. In many ways, it feels as though realism and spectacle are debating each other within the same conversation. One perspective focuses on timing, age, speed, and practical logistics. The other perspective emphasizes the possibility of a single moment, one explosive burst, and an unforgettable shock.
Mike Roy was super interesting. It was in the, very kind of early stages of the pandemic.
Yeah.
8 months in, but, we were still kind of dark and depressed at that point. And like Tyson hadn't fought, it was nostalgic. It was Roy. Okay, so I got the appeal. I got the appeal of Jake because he was so much younger and he's, a novice compared to Tyson. I don't know. Okay, now what's the appeal here?
After considering the training footage, the size-based reasoning of Evander Holyfield, the skepticism raised by Ariel Helwani, and the confident prediction from Frank Smith about a chaotic first round, we arrive at an unusual boxing paradox where logic suggests the matchup is strange, yet legacy still commands attention. In one moment, the discussion focuses on sparring intensity and the disciplined training approach of Rafael Cordeiro. And in the next, we are questioning whether the fight will even take place. Yet both perspectives seem equally reasonable. The presence of Mike Tyson suggests danger. The ring intelligence of Floyd Mayweather Jr. signals survival, while the business side of boxing quietly points toward a potential mega event, regardless of age, weight differences, or realism. The true collision here is not merely between two legendary fighters, but between myth and mechanics.
Now I want to know where you stand on this. Does Tyson's power and size actually create real danger? Or does Floyd's defensive genius make this a tactical masterclass instead of chaos? Drop your take in the comments, let's really talk about it. And yo, don't ever forget to like, share, and subscribe to Boxing Headquarters. See you in the next one.